What's going on, snack fans? We got another banger of podcast ready to go for you. I'm Ryan Hernia, aka Never Lose Heart, aka Konoha Cafe. Here, my best buddy.
What's up, guys? I'm Brady Cardia, and thank you for joining the Snack Run Podcast. We got a wonderful podcast planned for you guys. We got a bunch of gifts, gaffs, giggles, and some fun entertainment news.
I'm ready for some giggles.
And I'm ready for some gifts and gaffs. But if you guys like all things pop culture, anime, everything in that realm, this is the perfect podcast for you guys.
We're going over news articles. We're going over trending topics. We got things we got things that no one else is talking about. Probably. I don't know.
We got things we don't even know what we're talking about.
Speaking of things we don't know what's going on in the world, Brady, real quick, just how's your week been, brother? Like in all honesty.
Yeah, all honesty, my week's been pretty good. It's been pretty busy. A lack of energy recently. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, just a lack of, like, I got the motivation. The motivation's there. But just, like, overall energy feels, like, all out of whack and out of line.
Okay.
Don't know why that is.
I think we're human, and I think that's okay to have, like, some off weeks and off days. But, you know, at least the motivation's there.
Yeah.
In fact, we actually had a really big spurt in motivation recently. One of our TikToks actually got like a crazy amount of views, and like it's like not super different from our normal content, but it's really cool that it took off anyway.
It's super weird because honestly, like, I don't know how TikTok works sometimes. TikTok is so weird, and the algorithm is so funky dunky.
It's hard to cater to what they want sometimes.
Exactly, and sometimes I don't know what they want because, like, just the algorithm's so weird because we'll post like 4 or 5 different things, and the amount of people will reach, it varies. It really just varies.
From like 100 to like
100 to a couple thousand to maybe one person in their basement. Like, it really just varies.
One person in their basement?
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta share this with my mom.
Look at these guys. But yeah, it's just so weird. Like, it's just all of social media.
Do you know what's kind of weird about it too also?
What's up?
Is that like some of our TikToks will have like maybe 2 people save it, and then some of them will have like 140 people save it. And so like we're kind of dipping our little big toes into the world of like influencer algorithmic like online presence. And so like around 146 people have Brady and I on their phones like saved.
Isn't that crazy?
Which is it's just a little bit crazy. But it's kind of cool.
I don't want people looking at me. I think I joined the wrong profession, if that's the case.
If you weren't a world-renowned like influencer online, what do you think you would be instead? Like, would you work in coffee or something?
No, not coffee. I would say probably contracting. Like, I would contract layouts of like what housings look like and stuff.
So a house guy.
Yeah, I'll be a house guy. I'll be your contractor. If you don't know what you want, I'll tell you what you want.
You know, honestly, I don't know what I would be if I wasn't an artist / like
very successful influencer.
Very successful influencer with 20,000. No big deal.
Yeah, just anything. Just think of anything.
I think I'd be a teacher, maybe.
Teaching's nice.
Yeah, I've always been really good with like my words. I mean, when I talk fast, I know I sound like an idiot, like a bumbling freaking dumbass.
A bumbling buffoon?
Yeah, I do. I sound like fucking. You think I'm on crack or something? But I think I'd be a teacher, honestly.
Teaching's not bad. I've always thought of it as like my retirement job. Like if I retired like at a decent age,
what would you teach?
Something artistic, you know, something to do with arts or whatever.
Autistic.
Something artistic, yes.
Would you teach like Adobe programs? Or would you teach like?
Yeah, it would probably be like graphic design, since I'm very knowledgeable. Or I mean, nowadays I'm not as knowledgeable as I used to be because like the programs for graphic design keeps on evolving, and I'm not up to date with all the new. Like,
I think like a week refresher would help you. Also, like the fundamentals of graphic designs haven't changed. It's art meets like practical use. So like it has to serve a function while looking aesthetically pleasing. While art by itself is subjective, so you can create it with no bounds. While graphic arts need to serve a meaningful purpose while also looking good.
Yeah. If there was, I 100% agree on that. That was actually really good. Thank you for that.
No, I'm dead ass. That's what I was taught when I applied for Dutch Bros graphic design team.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I've never like heard it put in that like aspect, so that's awesome. But if it goes to like a different type of art form, what you're not familiar with currently, what would you like to pick up?
Oh, okay. If I were to start in a different art form?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I've always like kind of picked up a lot of different art forms.
You
like
mastered all the forms.
You're
the avatar of all art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, because like you and I both did like graphic design and art and video in high school, and then we both naturally did like drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
If I had to pick up a new kind of art form,
it could be anything.
Maybe painting or graffiti.
I think graffiti would be really cool.
Painting or like spray painting.
I think graffiti has always like interested me because it's like a totally different thing because you're kind of working with like different type of art tools like spray paint and stuff like that.
Wait, cooking.
Cooking would be fun.
Yeah, you know what? I take back the first two. I would love to become like a master at cooking. Like if I for some reason couldn't draw anymore or edit videos or create cool content like this, I think I would love to become like a very amazing like cooker.
I think cooker. What are you cooking, meth?
Cooker, I barely know her.
Yeah. But I think another form would be really cool. I think pottery would be really cool.
Okay,
like ceramics, pottery.
That's
and
probably
stuff
one of the
like
sexier like art forms too.
Oh yeah, because you could teach you could take a girl on a date. You're like, "What's up, mama? Let me grab right behind you and let me teach you how to mold this thing."
you get better use of your clay if I rub your butt.
She's like, "Is this how you do it?" So yeah.
Are you sure my clothes are supposed to be off?
No, it helps with the clay. It helps form the clay a lot better.
This is getting weird.
Yeah, I always liked it because my intro to art class was always right next to the ceramics class. So just seeing like the little patio things, like they're like stepping on with the foot, like when it's going in circles, it looks fucking hard as shit because you're working on like a 3D scale when like mainly most art is worked on like a 2D like platform type thing.
No, yeah, so ceramics and / like maybe pottery for you. Maybe.
Yeah, wouldn't that be so cool?
That'd be kind of cool if like maybe you had guests over at one point and you made like a jar and you filled their water with it.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
And like maybe like they're using that salad fork and you're like, I made that fork.
I made that. I made that, and you're using it.
And they're like, that's why it tastes like clay still. And they're like, well, it wasn't. You're like, well, it wasn't done drying.
It wasn't done drying. It's actually just clay. It's like wet, sloppy clay. It's like a wet spoon with just like flooding downwards.
And they're like, looking at the salad. Yeah, it's like all dirty still.
Well, to kind of move on from that.
Yeah, there's no good segue from that, but I'm happy we talked about it.
But we do have a couple like news articles we kind of want to bring up.
Yeah, there was probably like 5 podcasts ago, roughly at this point, we talked about how Justin Roiland, one of the co-creators of Jack and Morty.
Jack and Morty.
Jack and Daxter. One of the co-creators of Rick and Morty. How at one point he was arrested? No. He was fired from Adult Swim over some accusations of his character. He was reportedly taken into custody over domestic battery, kidnapping, and talking to underage women, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, the big thing is, like, there's a bunch of allegations of him just being a creep and a pedophile. And
he kidnapped someone.
Yeah, and just being a fucking, like, weirdo. So, like, Adult Swim fired him from Rick and Morty. They're not letting him work on anymore.
And so, okay, so a lot of this was alleged, right? And no one can quite prove the text messages that came out were real. But a lot of us, including myself, were quick to believe it because of his character.
Yeah, just the type of person he is. Like, if you watch Rick and Morty and you see like a couple of the scenes in Rick and Morty, you're like, well, duh, yeah, of course. Like, if anybody was gonna come out as a creep or pedophile, it'll be this guy right here in charge of like this show.
Credit where credit's due. Dan Harmon, the other half of the creator team, of the creator duo, he's also a fucking creep. Like apologies, but he got fired from Community, his own show he created, because he's a creep and he's a weirdo. So yes, just two creative minds without boundaries came together. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, like, Brady, there is some developing news about that.
Yeah, you sent me, and I know you're going to pull it up right now, and you could totally read it, but he's kind of just coming out and just kind of saying, like, it wasn't me, or not even it wasn't me, like, he's just trying to plead innocent, which, like, until, like, solid facts are being, given, Like if solid facts were like just there, I would believe it. But like at least then like in my mind, it's like, oh, this guy is kind of a creep as it is. I don't care what he says. Anybody would try to say that they're innocent even when they're not innocent.
Right, unless they're taking like a plea deal. But how about these for solid facts? So this is a tweet that went out just like 3 days ago on Wednesday. This is what Justin Roiland. This is the first time he's spoken out about the situation in like 3 months. I have always known that these claims were false, and I have never had any doubt that this day would come. I'm thankful that this case has been dismissed, but at the same time, I'm still deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during this process. Most of all, I'm disappointed that so many people were so quick to judge without knowing the facts, based solely on the word of an embittered ex. That's like $1,000 word. Embittered ex.
That's a good word. Good for him for using that.
Yeah, and good on me for not stuttering. Trying to bypass due process and have me quote unquote cancel that it may have succeeded, even partially, is shameful. However, now that the legal case has ended, so note that the charges have been dropped. Has ended. I'm determined to move forward and focus both on my creative projects and restoring my good name.
So here's the only thing, like if the charges have actually been dropped, then he's kind of just being cleared innocent. Like, but it's also so weird because maybe it was one of those things where like one person came out, made up some stuff about him, and now everybody's trying to hop on the bandwagon. So like if he was cleared by the US like law saying he's innocent, then if they couldn't find any facts, then like where's the facts of him actually, not to protect him. He seems like a creep. I'm not trying to say like he's not a creep. He seems like a creep, but like in the eyes of the law, he's innocent because he hasn't done anything. Because if they had evidence that he would be in jail right now for like sexual assault and all that.
He would probably face around 17 to 25 years maybe for all of his things. It was supposed to be like assault, kidnapping, talking underage women, stuff like that. So let's just look to the future. What do you like? What's been done is done. I don't think that they're gonna be able to get him for anything because none of it can be proven. Apparently, it was like an ex that like was just trying to get him canceled, as quote unquote. He's been fired from his own video gaming studio, and
he's been like let go from everything.
He's been let go from Adult Swim. He's which is like a whole network in itself. He's been let go from his own video game studio. Like, what's next for this guy?
I think for like those like companies like Adult Swim and his video game studio, I don't think he can necessarily go back. Like, let's say like the studios get facts of like, okay, he didn't do anything. It still doesn't look good to the eye of the public if they take him back. So no matter what, like proven innocent, I don't think he's going back there at all.
He'd have to like online wise and like in the public's eye restore his good name, like he said. And Rick, that's gonna be quite the task. He's gonna I can see them. I can see it happening. I can see him being welcomed back, but only after like
some time.
And there's been reports from Adult Swim creative studios that like when he came in, he just goofed off the whole time. Yeah. He goofed off.
So if he wasn't valuable for the team, then there's no reason even to bring him back. Like if he wasn't a good asset for the team itself.
And they said that he had barely anything to do with the latest Rick and Morty season. Like he was there to record his lines, but for writing wise, he didn't really contribute.
Yeah, I know he says in that he wants to continue his creative endeavors, but like what is he able to pick up? Like with like being quote unquote canceled and like tarnishing his name, like who's gonna let him do any type of creative endeavors?
That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe he starts like a new show.
With what funding? Like no one's gonna fund that, or I think it's gonna be really hard for him to like.
Right, you start at ground zero for sure. You start at ground zero.
It's gonna be ground zero, and like he's gonna have to slowly start to regain people's trust. And like if it is factual, if it's not factual, like that bitter ex won in this situation because he kind of like flipped his life upside down. If it is true or not true.
Yeah, that's all we can really say about that. I think. I personally love Rick and Morty. I do feel like the latest few seasons have been like, and it's fine. It's still really good. But
it's not the same.
I don't think you're even gonna notice he's gone.
Yeah.
With a really good impersonator for Rick and Morty, and with some AI like tech, voice changing technology, you literally won't even notice.
And it kind of feels like Adult Swim is just not being bothered by it at all. Cause they're not really worried about Rick and Morty because they greenlit it for like another 40 episodes. So like they're just like, okay, if we have them, if we don't have them, it's totally fine. We're gonna still push on.
That can be 2 to 3 seasons. Too.
And Rick and Morty is Adult Swim's like #1 show.
That flagship show.
Yeah, it's like the #1 show. So they're kind of forced. Like their hand is kind of tied. They're kind of forced to continue it if they want to or not, because that's just how the industry is.
Brady, is there a palate cleanser before we hop into the next horrible thing on the docket?
The palate cleanser is...
Give me some good news, brother, because we have another thing on the chopping block next, and good golly gosh, it's not getting any better right now.
I think Creed 3 was good.
That was like 2 weeks ago news.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Creed 3. You know who my favorite character in Creed 3 is? Jonathan Major. He plays Dame. He's pretty good in it. So, yeah, what's the next news? I hope it doesn't ruin my appetite.
Well, you might want to sit down for this one and maybe retract your last statement because Jonathan Majors has been arrested in New York City for attempted assault and alleged harassment and violence. I asked you like to say something like positive and nice.
I did. I said Creed 3 was really swell, and I really like Jonathan Majors. And you just have to swing your big old dick with your big old news about Jonathan Majors, and you just got to ruin my day.
So we should, in the future, we should probably space out the shitty things we want to talk about so that this whole episode isn't a complete bummer.
Yeah. We're going to talk about good stuff soon. Trust me.
I promise.
We just want to give you guys the information.
Yeah. We should, we should have like segments where we just like shorts where we talk about and give our takes about like certain news articles so that like we don't pile on a bunch of bullshit onto like the podcast. So I have an article here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you guys, but I'm gonna give you guys the cliff notes, the recap, the last time on Dragon Ball, if you will. This happened as of the recording of this podcast. This happened like 24 hours ago. Crazy breaking news, my guy. Jonathan Majors arrested in New York City on strangulation and assault and harassment charges. Let that sink in for a second. Oh, Lord, this man is not a small person. Have you seen him in the latest Creed?
If you're getting strangled by this man, just like
you're dead.
Yeah, you better start planning your funeral like as soon as he's strangling you because he's one of the biggest guys out there right now.
He's huge. He looks like clouds. He looks just like a modulation. It's not a real word of like clouds in one man. He's just like, ugh. So he's like 3 Brady's combined.
Honestly, he's probably like 7 or 8 Brady's. Like he's not only big, he's also tall. He's like 6'5" or something.
On the camera, Brady looks pretty normal, but he's kind of a small dude.
Yeah, I'm only like 5'11", 5'10". So like 5'10", 5'11" is not even average height nowadays. Like a solid like 6'1" is gonna be your new average height. Like these motherfuckers are coming out like fucking giants nowadays.
When I'm on dating apps, sometimes like it's like kind of like a less than like desirable woman, but listing all the things that she wants in a man. It's really funny to me. Anyway, go on.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, he's a huge guy, but right, just correct me if I'm wrong. These are mainly allegations, right? Like they're kind of like, because in the state of New York, we were kind of talking before this. I did know this information. I was just playing dumb for you guys. But before this, we kind of talked about it's one of those things where like if someone said you did something horrific, the police has to arrest you immediately, and then they'll kind of check the facts after. They just trying to get you off the streets and get you into custody.
Well, like something has to happen, basically.
Yeah, something has to happen. Even if it's not like you getting arrested, it's like
someone has to be slapped on the wrist, basically.
Yeah, so like if it's true or not true, like the police has to do something about it.
So I'm not gonna read the whole thing and bore you guys to death, but I'll read you guys like a few pieces. Actor Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and recently starred in Creed 3, was arrested in New York Saturday morning under charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment. A spokesperson from the New York Police Department's Deputy Commissioner of Public Information confirmed Majors arrested to IGN and shared the following statement. On Saturday, March 25th, 2023, at approximately 11:14 in the morning, police responded to a 911 call. Sorry. A preliminary investigation determined that a 33-year-old male. By the way, Jonathan Majors being 33 years old,
he's a sexy 33.
Only 6 years older than me.
Yeah, he's a sexy, only 6 years older than us.
I thought he was older. He's a good-looking man.
No, he's good. I mean, with all that muscles and personal training, you kind of have to look that good.
He was in a dispute with a 30-year-old female. The victim informed police that she was assaulted. Officers placed Jonathan Majors into custody without incident. So basically, there was an incident between him and a female who apparently was a friend, and I'm gonna jump on down to some of the legal aspects of it.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Because you kind of think of Jonathan Majors and like. It's actually hard because like his last 2 roles, he was this pretty aggressive villain. Like he's probably not like that in real life. But then hearing this, if they are true, it's like, damn, no wonder he was such a good villain, you know?
Yeah, you hear about those actors that like kind of play like the same role over and over again. Like Seth Rogen will always just be like a fuck up kind of character. Adam Sandler always just be like the cool dad, you know, and like
cool sexy dad with the sexy mama.
Allison
Wonderland.
No. The woman who plays Captain Marvel.
Oh, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson will always play a character that right-wing, like, radicals will never like for whatever reason. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's more just Brie Larson, though. People just don't like her.
Well, I mean, I like her.
You like her, but people don't for some reason.
People.
Yeah, you are people. Okay, just go on to the legal actions. I'm not arguing with you about if you're a person or not.
I am a person. So this is the last part I'm going to read to you guys. But basically... at first it was like all doom and gloom, and then we read the last part of this, so it was like, this is his lawyer speaking. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was actually taken to the hospital the day before. The New York PD is required. This is the kicker, and actually most states are, especially in Arizona. Not that I would know. Don't ask me how I know this. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon.
Yeah, so, I mean, who came out with that? His lawyer team?
His lawyer made a long statement about
arrest. So, like, I mean, they seem pretty confident. They seem very confident about that whole situation. Well, it's like, I'm sure maybe an altercation did happen, and maybe it wasn't to that extent of like that aggressive, but we don't know until we get further like evidence.
It just happened, guys. We wanted to serve it to you guys nice and fresh. We wanted the fries to be crispy. We wanted the juice burgers to be juicy. Yeah. We wanted you guys to have just try it for yourself. You know what I mean?
I think I'm kind of scared though, because let's say these allegations are true. I'm kind of scared to see like what's going to happen with the Marvel universe.
It's already kind of rocky. Right?
Yeah.
And he was one of the better parts of it.
Yeah. The MCU right now is, just to be blunt and honest, like it's kind of unstable, and he was kind of the glue holding it together. And it's just the start of
him and Spider-Man.
Yeah, him. Oh, of course, Spider-Man's always going to hold the MCU together. But
with his webs, he's like holding like the two like halves of the ship together.
But yeah, I like him a lot, so I hope this is not true. But
even if it is true,
you just never know with people. You think you know someone.
We knew him so well. Like, gosh darn, we had him over for dinner. He came to your daughter's recital.
Yeah, her recital, and then quinceañera afterwards. So he's
white people having a quinceañera. Can you imagine? Anyway, even if they are true, I don't think that like it's going to affect him too much. I mean, because like, show me one celebrity who doesn't have like some sort of arrest.
The only thing I would say normally for any type of other studio, yeah, sure, whatever, like fucking Ezra Miller in the Flash movie. Flash movies, Flash movies. Flash movie's still fucking coming out. So like, obviously, but Marvel Studio is owned by Disney. Disney's very strict with their contracts. Like it's a household name. Like Disney, like everybody knows fucking Disney. So like Disney wants only the best people to represent them. So that's the only thing where I'm scared. If it was any other studio and like allegations came out,
especially DC. DC's like, you stole from people, you kidnapped people, you started a cult, you assaulted people, you're a cross-dresser. Get on in here, buddy. We'll take you back.
Also, like DC just like sometimes it feels like they know what they're doing, and then sometimes they absolutely have no fucking idea what they're doing. Not to like lean on another negative news, but you've been hearing the stuff about The Rock recently.
Oh, Black Adam?
Yeah, Black Adam.
Tell me more about that, Brady.
He's just being, for one, I only see The Rock as like this like great guy. I guess he's a fucking asshole. He's like just so controlling, and he's a fucking asshole. And like Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam, the adult version, not Billy Batson, of course. He was really excited. He wanted to make a cameo in Black Adam, and The Rock was like, "No, this is my movie. We don't want you in there." And like Black Adam was like taking control, or not Black Adam. The Rock was like taking control of like the entire movie, and he was making all these like ridiculous like ridiculous demands. Like he has this one contract, no one knows if this is real, but where like he can't lose a fight. That's in his contract. So that's one of the main reasons why, like, oh yeah, Shazam and Black Adam are never gonna meet up, because like Black Adam can never lose, because that's in like Dwayne The Rock Johnson's contract. It's like that's Shazam's number one villain is Black Adam, and you're just never gonna have them meet up or fight. So yeah, I guess like Zachary Levi was really excited to like work with The Rock, and The Rock was just being like a dick to him.
Which is crazy, because like, isn't Black Adam like kind of like a spinoff of Shazam? Kind of.
Yeah, no, but like, The Rock is trying to make Black Adam the main character, not Shazam. Even though like Shazam is the hero in the, so like he's just, I never heard anything about him being so controlling. Maybe he's just upset with like the studio and how Black Adam's not doing record-breaking numbers.
It's crazy that like DC has been trying to get all these characters and actors and people together for like a long time, and like they just can't get it right. And I don't know, I'm sure it's a lot harder than it sounds, you know, with like these 1,000-page like contracts and pleasing everyone. The Rock, I mean, that blows, because like obviously he's like a person that like a lot of us grew up with in one way or the other.
A lot of people look up to him too, just because how influential he is and how huge he is.
Like, yeah, and he's like, from a race perspective, we don't know what The Rock is. He could be Mexican, Black, Asian, Hawaiian, Islander, and so all those races look up to him. Yeah. You look up to him.
I do.
He could be a little bit white. He can be a little bit El Salvadorian. We don't know. What I'm trying to say is that like a huge amount of El Niños look up to him, and adults, and it's just it's a big stinky winky that he is being a big douche.
He's being a big old stinky winky douchey wooshy. Which is kind of bummed, because I've never heard anything about him being like this. But he like,
you know what? Earlier today we were talking about like some celebrities who kind of play the same character over and over again.
Yeah.
For most of The Rock's career, I think he plays like the same character.
Oh, no, he plays the exact same fucking character. I saw a picture of him in like three different type of jungle outfits. Four different jungle outfits. And then they're like, oh, I bet you guys don't know what movies they're all. And they were all from like the different same movies. Yeah, different movies. They looked like they were from the same movie, but they're all fucking different movies.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memes where it's just like these are 4 different Rock movies, and it's like him and like a brown button up in the jungle.
It's like honestly, I think that's just his button up. I think it's just his. Like,
I'll bring my own button up.
Yeah, it's in his contract that he has to bring his own clothes.
And he can't lose a fight.
No, and he can't lose a fight.
Did you know that him and Vin Diesel don't like working together?
Probably because he's a fucking asshole.
Well, because he needs to be the star of the movie, and Vin Diesel is a star of Fast, the series.
Yeah.
And so their first movie together, I guess they butted heads a lot, because like there can't be 2 strong, influential, bald men and that much testosterone in one room, brother.
I think The Rock just needs to be like knocked down a level and like let him know like you don't need to be the star in every movie. You could kind of just like be a supporting character sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to be a star.
Can you imagine The Rock being a supporting character though? It's hard to imagine that because like he's always like usually the center.
Yeah,
usually
because he wants to be in the center. It just bums me out because he seemed like such a good guy in here and all these things.
Yeah, it's like we place people on pedestals, and once we find out that they're kind of dicks, it sucks. Have you ever met a celebrity that you find out later that is like kind of an asshole?
Not met in person, and like I guess I was the last one to find this out. But I guess Tom Cruise is a fucking ass and crazy guy. I mean, of course,
we all knew he was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't know he's he's a Scientologist. So, but I didn't know all that. I was just watching all the movies. I actually didn't find out until like Top Gun Maverick that he was like not a good person. Like,
was it the 2020 bullshit that he pulled? I
think it was 20. I mean, I got informed on everything, just all his Scientology stuff, all his like weird like racial stuff, and then like just how he treats people. How it's just weird because he's just overall like a terrible person. I didn't know that because like I would watch Tom Cruise and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's great. Mission Impossible, fuck yeah. And I got really big into Tom Cruise during Top Gun Maverick, and then like a bunch of people told me, I was like, yeah, I mean, that was a good movie, but he's not the best person. I was like,
well, yeah, but go ahead, tell me what you heard. I want to hear what you heard before I go into my.
Well, it's just like how he treats people, how he treats directors, how he treats his actors.
You said something about race. Is he racist?
Yeah, fully racist.
Wasn't there black people in Top Maverick?
Well, they're not gonna just put someone out of the movie just because he doesn't want them in there.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
At first you had my curiosity. Now you have my cock.
Anyway, yeah, he's just a bad guy, and definitely anybody involved in Scientology. Not the moves. Yeah. Not the moves.
Yeah. In order for us to fuck with you, you have to be either Christian or white.
Well, Scientology is just basically like a cult, like a Illuminati cult, which is like fucking sacrifice people and like they're just not.
We should do a snack bite on Scientology.
I don't think I know enough. There's like 20 documentaries on Netflix about Scientology.
We should learn and then come back with our takes. And then we should on the second half of the podcast or of the snack bite, we should talk about like how we could fix or make Scientology even weirder. That'd be kind of fun, right?
They got the weirdness down. Like, because I watch clips of the documentaries on like Netflix, and like people who leave Scientology, like they come hunt them down. And they hunt their family. Like they just don't want them on the earth anymore.
What?
Yeah, no, like when I say it's like a crazy cult, it is. Like they hunt down their family. It's just like you're with us or you're not alive.
How is the government letting this slide? What are you doing, Joe Biden? Sleepy Joe, wake the fuck up, sheeple!
The government's probably involved in like Scientology. I'm not big in like conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I don't know.
Conspiracy snacks? All right, that's enough of that. I want to talk about for a second separating the art from the artists, because a lot of these actors. What?
Nothing.
What? What's so funny?
I say that a lot, so it's funny. A lot of people don't agree with separating the art from the artist, but there's a couple artists where I'm like,
right?
It's just like it's good.
Like
it's good music. It's good acting. It's like it's good. Like they're a fucking piece of shit. I will agree on that. It's a fucking piece of shit. But I really want to go see the new Flash movie.
This guy is an active participator in cockfights in Mexico. He's like, yeah, but his music bangs.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Sorry, it's just that was kind of funny to me.
Two things. I was at the gym 2 nights ago, and they had Top Gun Maverick playing in the dark the dark running room.
Yeah, the theater room.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's such a good movie.
I know. I had a really good pump that day.
You get pumped like watching it. I remember the first time I saw it in the theaters. I was so fucking ecstatic.
It's still affecting you. You have the mustache still.
Yeah. I've actually fucking Top Gun Maverick. Ooh, because I had my mustache for 2 or 3 years, and when Top Gun Maverick came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, did you grow that because you watched Top Gun?" Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I had my mustache 2 or 3 years before they even thought about Top Gun Maverick.
I don't think so, actually. I don't.
What? I can show you fucking pictures.
I think in 2020.
I didn't have it in 2020.
No, you said 2 or 3 years. That was 3 years ago. Was 2020.
Oh, you just gave me our dates.
No, I'm pretty okay. So like in 2020,
they're gonna know we filmed this in 2023.
You were a baby face, and you had long hair, and you were a little. I
started growing it in 2021 of September.
You have a chin now. You were chubby in 2020.
Yeah. You like my jawline?
The COVID-15 got all of us.
Oh, bro, the COVID fucked us up.
The COVID-30 for me, actually. I couldn't even see my cock after a long time. I was like, yo, is it still down there?
I think it was the COVID-30 for me. It was bad.
Yeah. Dude,
it was so bad.
You didn't fit into any pants for a long time.
I think it was...
And depression hit you, too, pretty hard.
No, not really. But it was mainly the food. I think for me, it was more the alcohol. I drank so much in 2020. And alcohol just stores fat in there.
It was depression. It was a depression for me. I had something else I want to say about Top Gun or...
Separating the art from the artist.
As an artist, I'm gonna go with it's better to separate the art from the artist so you can fully appreciate stuff, because if you nitpick at every artist and every piece of media that comes out, you will never enjoy anything. You can find like the tiniest little thing. I know like my sister, God bless her, but also fuck her. At one point she dropped Attack on Titan because she heard or thought that like he taken on influences from the Nazi regiment or like Hitler essentially. And
I mean, it low-key makes the story good.
Right? Yeah, I mean, but like,
I'm not saying
how many movies and TV shows have made fun of Nazis or have taken inspiration from what happened back then? You know what I mean? Like that's a thing that happened, and it's a big piece of history. And so, like, what I'm trying to say is like, it's not okay to like continuously write off every tiny little thing based off of one creator or like one piece of history that happened. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. And today's culture, no one's going to be satisfied. Like, there's not one person in this world who's going to be satisfied with every single person. People are always not going to like certain people, and that's just how it is.
And how progressive and as woke as we are, like, there was a time in both of our lives where we made jokes that were not okay very openly.
Not me.
I clean Brady over here.
I was always perfect.
What I'm trying to say is that like 2019 or 2018, Kevin Hart was going to host the VMA Awards or the Golden Globe Awards or the Golden Grammys or whatever they are, and someone posted a tweet where he makes fun of gay people, and he ended up losing the opportunity. And he had to come out with an apology, and his PR team was in a frenzy.
Yeah. It's crazy because like people, definitely the older generation, they're like, "Oh, it was different times. It was different times." It's like low key, it was kind of a different times. Like I'm not saying it was good that back in the day all those people would say stuff like that, but it was kind of different times. But now people are learning and growing and evolving with our current times. But yeah, that I actually had that thought. I was like going through the social media, and Kevin Hart like skit popped up, and then he was doing a stand-up bit about his son, and his son said something, and to his son he's like, "What are you, gay?" And like nowadays that wouldn't go good with a lot of audiences, but back in the day people fucking loved that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think overall it's, especially for me too, because like I'm an artist who built up like a small following online, and I had some like sketchy business practices, not sketchy, but like unreliable business practices, and so but some people like didn't, they just left. They left after a while, or they wrote me off, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But I think overall, like my art just still takes talk for itself rather than just my business practices, and I've gotten better too, by the way. But I think that kind of wraps it up for our first half, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, hot dog, man.
Hot dog indeed.
We blew through all those. So anyway,
it was fun though. I had a good time talking about the first half a lot.
We're so woke. We're basically the Joe Rogan podcast of our time.
But less douchey and better nipples.
And sexy eye.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, our first half of the podcast is always going to be a general hot topics, TV shows, and movies. And the second half is always going to be anime and manga. And I love both halves. I really, truly do.
But I'm very excited for the anime portion. So after these commercial breaks, come back. And maybe we have a little treat for you guys.
Enjoy these commercials, guys. Bye.
Welcome back to the anime portion of the Snack Run podcast. We are still thrilled to have all you daddies here with us.
Ryan, and mommies.
Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. You've been nonstop talking about this like new up and coming anime coming up. How about you tell me a little bit about it?
Up and coming? Are you talking about the one I started this week? Okay, so it's not new.
Newish.
But it's interesting because Disney funded it.
Disney?
Yep, Disney.
Type of Disney?
Yeah, that Disney.
Don't do that again.
That Disney.
Ever.
So, I started a new anime this week, just kind of randomly. I was like, man, I really want to watch something that's like different. 'Cause I usually watch shonen or stuff that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just want to try to take a chance on something that's like a contained story. You know, that's talking like 6 seasons or whatever. And I started
something sweet, something small.
Yeah, sweet, savory, delicious, like easily digestible. And I started one on Hulu called Summertime Rendering. And I don't know a lot about it. I know that Disney was one of the ones that funded it because they were going to have like an anime portion. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they're going to have an anime portion on Disney Plus. But they're also in cahoots with Hulu, and so they do things together.
Disney owns Hulu, so yeah. I feel like sometimes Hulu might like do stuff, and Disney is like, well, I could basically do that because I own you. So give me some of that. They could literally like pull out anything from Hulu and put it on like Disney Plus,
right, or vice versa.
Yeah, because it's all one big company at this point. They own everything.
At one point, Disney is going to own the Snack Run podcast, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing, you know. I'm actually I'll be really excited for that.
Yeah, you have to talk.
Free trips to Disneyland,
and we'll make no money basically.
Yeah, they could run my life
just like how it is now.
Exactly.
And soon you'll have to be like talking in Goofy's voice at all times. Go ahead, start.
What do you think about the Snack Run podcast?
Maxie, you're home from school so early. Maxie, your dad doesn't just have sex. He fucks.
You're fucking Mickey? Wait, how does that...
The divorce lawyer is like, he wants all the assets, and for some reason you said that she's...
insanely goofy?
She's really silly.
Oh yeah, she's really silly. No, I said she's fucking goofy.
Our Disney overlords aren't going to like that joke.
No, they're not. Definitely when they own us.
Yep. So anyway, back to the anime of Summertime Rendering. I'm going to try to describe to you guys this anime with... I'm going to try to sell you guys on it and not spoil it for you guys.
Okay. Do it, Daddy.
If you've ever seen Erased is a fantastic, amazing, like I think 12 or like 14 episode amazing anime, and I think it's like damn near flawless. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that like there hasn't really been anything quite like Erased since that I know of. Summertime Rendering is pretty close. It's about a young man who... I want to say high school years still. He returns back to a small country island off the coast of Japan to his home because his sister passed away. Yeah. And this is all like in the first like 5 minutes, so like it's fine. And so he gets there and he has to try to solve the. They find out later that like, oh, like, hey, this wasn't like an accident. This was like a murder, and he has to try to find out like who murdered her essentially. And there's a bunch of island characters from like storekeepers to old friends to like weirdos on the boat, people watching them, etc., etc., etc. And then it kind of goes into some fantasy elements, and he teams up with his old friends basically to try to solve this murder. And it's like a new unraveling, new revelations, new characters being naturally, organically brought in. And the opening is a real banger too. The opening is like just a bunch of like cryptic things and like flashback photos. And the opening is so cool. At the end, it's like a really great shot of the main character pulling a gun to his head and then pulling the trigger. It's so cool.
So it's like hinting at like things.
A lot of different things. And if you ever watch Erased, you will know that the opening of Erased, there's not a wasted scene. There's not a wasted scene. There's not a wasted sequence. Like everything from the clocks to the way that kids run, from the way that the characters look at each other, it all means something. So it's a little bit like this opening too.
I love that. Like I'm a sucker for like murder mysteries and stuff like that. I loved Erase. Erase was like really, really good for like no apparent reason. It was just really good.
No reason to pop off that hard queen. No reason.
Slay girl, slay. Anyway, just like good like murder mysteries, because I like a couple things. I like heists and murder mysteries. Those are like the two things I really enjoy. So I'm really excited to like to get started on it. I haven't started it yet, but it actually has my attention. Like I really want it.
Right. Yeah. No. And I'm happy, and I like that the main character doesn't look like every other main character. So like, if you know me, you've been watching this for a while, I hate the anime trope of like like a big eyed like kind of medium sized hair character with like a little bit down the middle. Anyway, you know the character I'm talking about. It's like the Kirito, forgive me. It's like the Luffy's. It's like all the it's like Isagi from Blue Lock. Like
just
they all
the
have
basic. It's all the basic bitches.
Hair, right?
Basic bitches.
So this character has 2 different colored eyes and like a ponytail, and I like that just because it's just a little bit different from like the normal like characters we're used to.
Yeah, that's super cool. So you said you watched episode 1 so far?
I watched episode 7. Episode 7.
Up to episode 7. So you're kind of at the halfway mark, right?
I'm not sure, actually. I never stopped to see how many episodes there are.
Does it feel halfway? Like, do you feel like it could wrap up in the next 7 episodes?
Yeah. I will also say, if you ever watched ReZero, I think it's called Born into Another Life or something, ReZero. The ReZero series is very, very popular for isekai type of stuff. It has some ReZero elements as well.
I love that because like I said, like I think the best story who does like mysteries really good. This is not anime, but Gravity Falls is really good. I love how you could pick apart like the opening and the ending of Gravity Falls, and if you play in like reverse, you could kind of get like little clues from each episode. But that would be cool if they could do that with this anime, like have it more inverse or like immersing.
Right. Gravity Falls has Gravity Falls is an American cartoon for Disney. But basically, yes, but Gravity Falls has a different format. It's more like here's an adventure, and also here's a few sprinkles of the main story.
Yeah,
usually
it's American version, like it's Americanized, so it's not as serious. It's not like as enticing as like an anime.
And also like don't let us saying American type of cartoon throw you off. I mean, you brought it up, but
there's some bangers.
Gravity Falls is a fantastic series.
It's a banger. There's a bunch of bangers. Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Adventures Time. Bangers after bangers.
Adventures Time. Yeah, exactly. So, I've been watching that one. Obviously, I've been watching My Hero. I'm waiting for Demon Slayer. But that's the one I've been kind of like hooked on. The dub is great, so I haven't really deviated from that. Also, like, if I hear the dub and then go over to, then I hear the sub, I'm like, fuck. Like, usually like shout out to all my dub voice actors and friends, but God bless, like usually the sub is better.
The sub's not good. You were saying
no, the dub's fine.
Oh, dub's fine.
I haven't heard the subs.
You haven't heard that. You were just saying if I were situational. Yeah.
I would probably think that the sub's better.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Is like for me personally, if I start with the sub, I'm just staying with the sub. I can't make that switch halfway through or rewatch it. Like in my mind, whatever I watched it first in, that's my like canon. Like that's who they are. That's what they sound like. But I can't do like, okay, halfway through dub, no more dub, I'm going to watch the sub. It'll mess me up. My brain can't just like do that switch of like, man, I want to enjoy the show. Right. But like my brain can't make the switch to like, this is entirely new characters.
Yeah, and I'm learning that the hard way. I hate bringing up Blue Lock every week, but I started watching because like when I'm on the treadmill, I have to read it and watch it, and run and not focus on dying. So I started watching it in dubbed, and the dub voices,
are they good? Are they gas?
No, they're not. They're not good.
Oh, they're trash.
Excuse me. Especially for this character called Bachira. The voices they give characters really changes them around if they're different.
No, 100%. That's why I was saying like how they like persuade the characters in different languages. They feel like entirely different characters. Yeah. And even when it comes to some of the dialogue, like they change the Japanese dialogue a little, not entirely. It won't change the whole plot, but it'll kind of change the vibe of the character.
Oh, if it's translated differently?
Yeah, it just translates because exactly like if you line up the dub with the subtitles from the sub, like just the wording is a little bit different because you can't translate seamlessly of like how Japanese is spoken, translate seamlessly to English.
Certain words
you have to have some buffer words to like make it coherent. Where like, oh, that's not what that means, or it'll just sounds like staticky junk just lined up. You have to like kind of translate it in a different way.
And then sometimes like there's not exactly always a word that translates from Japanese to English, so we'll find like the closest thing basically.
A lot of like describing words don't translate well.
So there's interesting off that topic, there's a really interesting part of Blue Lock about that. So there is a term in Japanese that Isagi calls one of they call him King of the Field. I forgot his actual name. Bachiro? No, it's not Bachiro. It's Boro, one of those names. He calls a character a retard in the fan translation, but it's hard to explain and hard to tell if the Japanese translation meant to call him retard or meant to call him donkey, because in the anime Isagi calls his character a donkey. Now, is it censored for American audiences, or was the Japanese translation supposed to mean donkey and the fan translation took it too far?
Yeah.
Now, these are translations and lost in translation type of words.
100%. There's times I follow some communities on Twitter where it's just a bunch of translators, and there'll be like certain phrases or words they'll have debates on, like, no, this means this word, or like, no, this means this word, and there'll be and it changes the whole sentence, even if it's just like one word what's different.
Right, like calling someone a donkey and calling someone a retard are two very different terms.
Yeah.
And did the Japanese mean one and not the other, or did it mean one not the other? Because like, and their fan translations, the ones I'm reading, I support official release too, but I just love it so much. I read it all the time.
It's hard not to. Like, I see like fan translation, and even like sometimes I will say there's some scans what comes out, and I know scans are, depending on who you ask, it's kind of forbidden in the anime community.
Scans?
Yeah, just looking at the scans, because they're like
early
scans, because there's a lot of people who's like, no, you have to do the official this, official that, and I support the official. I have a Viz account. What all the money goes towards, well, not all the money, but it does pay the artists when you have a Viz account.
It supports official.
Yeah, it supports official, but there's sometimes like, I don't want the official to come out. I'm gonna like read this, and it's not pirating because it's still the official work. You're just not reading it from an official source.
Mm-hmm. And you can vouch for me too. I buy manga like every other week, basically. I keep up with like 3 or 4. Black Clover, Battle Star or Battle Angel Alita, Blue Lock, obviously, Chainsaw Man. Like I keep up.
Yeah.
I do always say though, support official if you can, because sometimes in different countries the official releases aren't available. So if you can, and you're a full-grown adult with a job and like a high-functioning brain, which I know you all have, please support official so we can continue getting amazing content and amazing anime week to week, month to month, season to season.
What manga series would you like to buy entirely? Like
Black Clover.
Black Clover.
I wish I started like 3 years ago, but there's so many now. There's like 30 volumes.
Yeah, I mean, One Piece. I would love one day.
Obviously.
Yeah,
for you.
one day I want to collect all the One Piece volumes. And right now they make it kind of easy because they put everything in a huge box set. Love like everything.
Is it cheaper?
It's a little bit cheaper, and like it's actually, they're not rare at all. You could just buy the box set, and you're like, okay, I have this box set, this box. It just gets pricey because there's so many. I would also like maybe a classic anime to collect. I don't know, maybe like, it's probably not hard. Like none of this is hard. We just don't, because it's a lot of time and money, and you need somewhere to put it.
Well, go ahead, finish.
I was just saying, like, having like a classic, like I started my anime journey with Gurren Lagann. So if I had like the whole collection of Gurren Lagann, that would be really cool.
Was Gurren Lagann based off a manga?
Had to be, right? I mean, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Why wouldn't it? Every anime.
One manga came out for Gurren Lagann, and it was about them in a schoolyard setting. I'm pretty sure Gurren Lagann was an anime only story.
We might have to fact check that.
Yeah.
Or Trigun. I would have the original Trigun.
There you go. Yeah.
I would original Trigun Maximum. That would be really cool because it's totally different from like both of the animes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think it'd be too hard because we're both intelligent young men with incomes. If you just drop like $20 for 2 manga every 2 weeks, that's not bad. Like you spend more on like drinks and food, Brady. I know you do. Like literally, I go to like Barnes & Noble every 2 weeks and I drop like $20 to $25 on 2 manga volumes, and I've been collecting them ever since I was a young lad.
Yeah, I think once when I get my office, I'm gonna like dive deep into like my manga collection because I'm very OCD. I like to have everything organized. So if I could have a nice like 2 giant shelves with like all these nice manga like volumes just like laid out, it'll be super.
And you're
nice.
like hella nerdy, and your place is like pretty not basic, but like it's a place. It'd be cool if you started collecting something.
Yeah, definitely in my new office. I'm a really like that, because obviously like a living room's gonna be a living room. I can't put all my nerdy stuff in there because it's like a family living room and stuff like that.
Most of my living room doesn't really scream nerdy, but like once you get to my regular room, like my office-y room, yeah, and like your office, your bedroom, like you nerd it up because you can. But when other people come in, I mean, you could totally do it. But for my style of decoration, my living room is very casual. Also, your wife wouldn't let you put up like a big poster of Luffy and this pirate crew in the living room.
Because how many times you have to explain? It's like, why does your husband have all these shirtless guys on the wall? Because every anime poster you're going to get, at least a couple of them are going to be shirtless. And trying to explain that to normies, then it's like, there's all these shirtless guys. Some of them are really attractive. I'm just saying, there's all these shirtless guys.
Oh, man.
Do you know who has really good swagger in all of anime?
Killua Zoldyck. Fuck. Any JoJo character.
Fuck.
Not Luffy.
No, he doesn't have. Well, in the movies, he has swagger.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
In the movies, he has swagger.
Yeah, because that's when the creator comes out and pays attention for a minute.
When it comes to swagger and animation design, I think what obviously what studio does it best is Bones. Bones has really good swagger when it comes to animation, how they design the characters based off of the manga.
Oh, you mean like swagger as in like the way they do things?
Both. Like how
they dress the characters?
How they dress the characters. Because, yeah, they do base it off the original manga, depending on like what show it is. But they also add some like other details to it. Something I kind of think of an older Bones show is Soul Eater. I think Soul Eater has one of the most best animation and swagger in like all of early anime or early like 2000 anime.
Right, yeah, they definitely it was very stylistic.
Very stylistic.
Did Bones do?
Yeah, Bones did Soul Eater. Yeah, that's why it looks so fucking amazing, because Bones was OG back in the day and still is OG. Yeah.
Like Soul Eater holds up too.
It does. Like I was actually watching a video kind of just going over the animation of Soul Eater, and like just the amount of detail and like how fluent the whole show is, it still holds up to this day. There's some fight scenes in there what will hold up to fight scenes nowadays. And just like the impact frames are basically frames where a character impacts another character, and it's just like a flash of like a black and white sketch frame. Those are impact frames, and it utilized the fuck out of impact frames in the action. What makes feels like snapshots of like a hit impact frame snapshot of that.
Brady, did you know that just this week this happened? There is new Soul Eater official art. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, here, actually, I'll send it to you because I know you're editing this episode. But here, check out some of these new pieces. They are Fire Force X Soul Eater.
I did see it. I did see it.
And there's 4 official pieces.
So fucking rad.
Yeah, and they're pretty sick.
I love Soul Eater. I think Death the Kid is one of the coolest anime characters. Period. Just how he looks, because he's very like organized OCD. Like everything has to be like equal, and it's so funny because even in his character's design, like his two sides, they're not even equal. They're a little bit off-putting. Right. It's like for a character who's so OCD about everything has to be perfect.
Did you know that Soul Eater, the anime in a whole, deviates very far from the actual manga?
For real?
You know that?
I didn't know that.
So
I only watched the anime. I've never dove into the manga.
So it's pretty known that there's a Full Metal Alchemist series and there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist, the original series, is based off the manga, obviously. But the studio was like, hey, we only can give you like 36 episodes. Can you wrap up your whole, like that's your contract. Can you wrap up your whole show in like 36, 40 episodes? And she was like, the creator, she was like, yeah, I can do that. She rewrote Full Metal to wrap up in 40 episodes. And then Brotherhood later came out, like I think like 10 years later almost. That was the whole manga adaptation. And so the same situation happened to Soul Eater. They got X amount of episodes to write their story in, but the manga continued. And the last fight took place on the moon.
See, maybe I have to jump into the manga, because I felt like there was never enough anime. Like, it is so fucking good. Like, I'm always so mad when I get to the end of the series, where it's like, there's more to it. So I think I really want to start diving into the manga, if it's on Viz, or it's probably everywhere, honestly.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know who published that one. Kodansha?
Could be. I don't know, but I really want to dive into it because I love Soul Eater.
Whatever you decide to do, be sure to support local.
Or official.
Yeah, support official.
I mean, official could be local depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're in Japan, support local, I guess.
Yeah, not here. It's not local here.
Imagine if we had a Japanese audience. That'd be kind of sick.
That would be really cool.
I mean, it's extremely doubtful. I've sent packages to Japan before when I was heavy into making stickers and sending stickers around the world. That was a lot of fun.
I would love to tour like an animation studio just to see how they like. You could look up a lot of documentaries and videos how anime's kind of made, but seeing it in person would be so rad. Like for me, like going to like a Toei studio, seeing them like working on an episode of One Piece. It's not all made in the same studio. Obviously, if you ever go at the end of the credits in any anime, there's all these different side companies who helps out. But it would be so cool just to see them like working on an episode.
Agree. There's these things called like animation. I think it's called animation still frames or animation. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like where they draw it by hand and then it's like an actual frame.
Yeah, the cells.
Cells.
Yeah, you could buy the animation cells.
Right.
That would be so cool.
Dude, what if you got like one? Dude, how much do you think that would even cost? Probably a lot.
Probably a lot if
the
it's an
original
OG,
cell.
If it's an original cell, that would be crazy. Or even in like this current the Wano arc, what they're animating right now, but it's fucking popping off in One Piece.
I think at one point though they switched to digital, so like you'd have to get a cell from like 2000. Like
no, yeah, they don't. I know there's people who like replicate cells of like the newer stuff, but it's not official. Right. But that would be so cool to get like an OG,
right?
Like,
and like
One Piece or one of those classics like One Piece, Cowboy Bebop. For me personally, Trigun. Like what? Oh, Evangelion, like original cell. That would be.
Did you watch that series?
Yeah, it fucked me up as a kid.
Neon Genesis
Evangelion.
Evangelion. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
It screwed me up as a kid. I mean, I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was 11 or 12 when I watched it.
That's a good age to get fucked up.
Because that's how old. That's how old the kids were in it.
Shinji.
Yeah, Shinji. Like for one, Shinji is the biggest bitch in all of anime. He's
total fucking weirdo.
He's like if Deku never matured. If Deku never got all for one.
He is an incel, inbred piece of shit.
It's just weird. When he does that one thing in the hospital. What's her face?
The thing like, I always remember about him.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, watch it because it is one of those cult classics where you kind of just have to. And I think it's one of those things like besides like any Gundam anime, it is the number one mecha Gundam anime.
I have a slightly different opinion.
You don't think it's good?
If you value your mental health, I think you'll probably stay away from this one. In my opinion, I think I think animation wise, it's great.
Story wise,
it's
more mature for sure.
And any sane person can watch Neon Genesis Evangelion, man, and take away something different from the original ending. Like, there's no two people are going to take away, like, the theme differently, I feel like.
Yeah, I think maybe when it came out, I think it came out after Akira, but it was on it was on that hype train of, like, Akira was so bold and edgy. The anime coming directly after it, they were like, oh, we have to be bold and edgy. And Evangelion said, fuck this, we're going to be the most crazy shit in the world. And it was like, oh, okay, there's a line, and you jumped past the line.
And why is it always a teenager has to pilot the big mecha? And it's not just Evangelion Gongongelion. It's also like Darling in the Franxx. It's every Gundam. It's like most of Gurren Lagann. It's like I get it. We're gearing towards like a high school audience, but like in Evangelion,
they're like 10 or 11 or 12.
It's like also like they're like a teenager has to.
Yeah, it's like in their genetics. Like we can't do it. They have to do it.
Our cerumbellum. Wait, that's not a piece of the brain. Our Andubla oblongata is too developed to pilot this mecha. We need kids. We need stupid TikTok kids to hop into these robots.
Yeah, it's something about like putting young kids in these crazy situations. They used to love. I mean, they still kind of do it. I mean, that's their target audience. But like some situations they put them in any anime, it's like what the fuck. Well, something I think of is like Fully Cooley. I don't think. Have you ever seen Fully Cooley?
Yeah, bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, Fully Cooley's just weird. So basically, this alien like inbreds and this kid, he's like 11, in his forehead, and like whenever it comes out, it like just dangles along and puts him like through this like traumatizing states of like just weird stuff. And in that movie or in that show as well, there's a lot of like just adult sexual things. Like adult teachers are trying to like sexualize like this 11-year-old boy. It's like, dog, what are you doing? Fully Cooley is weird though.
Yeah, I think they definitely are very self-aware of how weird they are. But also like just like early 2000s, like 90s, like Japan in a whole. We need to also kind of remember that things over there are just weird in general.
Translate differently.
And like this is gonna be kind of a shock to a lot of you guys, but like pedophiliac and like age of consent over there are a lot looser over there. And I know that's kind of crazy. I know. But like those kind of laws and like the social justice warriors over there, that's something that's more like
the laws are a lot more lenient. I actually have a fun fact about it.
Yeah, it's like jaywalking for them. It's just like another one.
So sorry if I don't give you guys enough information. I wish I had the name of the author. I literally don't have any of that.
Maybe we can put it up right here once we edit it.
Yeah. So basically, what it's gonna that's the name. That's the author. Here's a link. I'll post a link in the description. But anyway, this author had a shonen manga on Shonen Jump, and it got canceled 5 chapters into it because the author was involved in like pedophilia, so he got taken away. But they let him go early because they thought canceling his manga was justice and that will keep him away from pedophilia. They even lock him up. They said, oh, well, Shonen Jump canceled your manga, so that's enough punishment for you. So it was super like light, like this guy was a pedophile.
Right.
And then like just because they canceled his manga, they let him go free.
Right. But in the States, you might get like 10 to 15. Or more.
No, yeah, you'll get 10 to 15, cancel your manga, and a lot more.
Yeah, you'll be blacklisted from Hollywood, any kind of other animation or manga or comics type thing you're doing. And I'm not saying one or the other is bad. What I'm trying to say is culture-wise, it's like jaywalking. It's like stealing a piece of bread. Like, it's just like, slap on the wrist, don't do it again, mister, get on home to your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, like, that's
just different, yeah.
That's a little person right there.
I mean, I don't know, but I also just don't think those cases are very common in Japan. Like, I just don't think they're very common in Japan. In the U.S., anything fucking happens. In Japan, I'm sure, yes, they do happen. I'm not saying they don't happen, but I feel like there's a lot more cases in the U.S. than there is in Japan. Like, maybe for one case there, it's 100 cases here.
Well, America's a lot bigger.
Yeah, and a lot more crazy.
But also Tokyo is like one of the biggest cities in the world.
True.
Like it's population wise, it's crazy. Like it's crazy that Japan hasn't sunk yet.
Yeah, it's crazy that there's that many people living there. Like, how do they operate?
They build up. They build up. Like they only have like X amount of space. This is how you always gotta do it. You always just gotta build on up because like we only have
to the heavens.
Yeah. I have the drill that's gonna break through the heavens.
Exactly.
Alrighty, y'all. That kind of wraps up the anime portion. If you're in Japan, just know that there are some cultural differences. If you're in the States, please support official release if you totally can. It helps us get like more really cool anime, really cool manga. It supports the actual creators so they can, put some dinner on the table for their families and stuff.
Exactly. And if you want to check out new series, check out Summertime Remnants. I heard that's popping off. If you don't check it out, I'm going to check it out. And you don't want me checking it out because I'm going to check it out hardcore.
Yeah, and when Brady gets into something, he gets really into something.
I get really into something. I actually really do get it. Like, if I get hooked on something, I watched a 2-hour video about Power Rangers this morning.
It's so weird.
Because...
why did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Here comes a snack goblin again.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. For the people who stick around, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That means the world to us.
Yeah, we actually have a few people who watch these episodes all the way through, and like we say this every week, but I think it's important that we keep saying it because we really do appreciate you a lot. My mom, I have friends who watch it all the way through, and I have friends who like aren't even really into anime, manga, or TV shows, movies. Jonathan Majors, whatever, you know what I mean? And they still watch it, and they're just like, yeah, it's it's cool.
Oh! And if this is your first episode you're watching because you found us on TikTok, let us know below. We're trying to figure out what works best on the algorithm, so let us know.
All right, guys. Until next time. Bye. Keep on snacking.